What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at base Gattuso. So I want to start this icon market and trying to do loads of these icon reviews as well as the golds, and I'm thinking Monday, Tuesday, potentially some of Sunday depending on the promo, to bring out as many as I can. Let me know down below, would you like to see golds throughout the week? Because what my schedule at the moment is that Wednesday night is Team of the Weeks, Thursday practically is Team of the Week as well, plus any SBC players. Friday then would be any sort of promo players, and then Saturday, potentially Sunday, depending on how many I want to do. Because when I was uploading, or especially yesterday when I uploaded 4 or 5, it seemed like the final few, once you get past 3, don't really get notified, and the views tend to kind of drop on it. So would you prefer 3 a day, if I possibly could do that, 2 at the minimum that I'm trying, and then would you like to see Monday, Tuesday gold icons, or would you prefer them kind of spread throughout? Let me know down below what you think. Gattuso is the next icon that we're bringing, and unfortunately, I can't go and just buy like a Cantona, a Pele, or an R9 because the prices of them are stupid. So I'm trying to bring up the market and go with Gattuso. We look at Inzaghi, we look at Nakata, and bring it up as because they're realistically what's going to be in Icon Swaps 1, and especially what's going to be accessible in Icon Swaps 1 straight off the bat. Someone like a Ronaldinho, a Zidane, if they are in Icon Swaps 1, are going to be the final ones, something that you've got to wait for the whole next season for. So we're still waiting to see what actually happens with that, but I thought we'll bring out some of the lower icons as well as some golds, because I still want to kind of finish that off, and as we get further in, we're going to then start to really just slow down on them. Once we've completed them, that's about it. There's no more golds coming out or anything like that. So once I've done the CR7s, the Messis, the Mbappes, the Neymars, we kind of just have more room for either icons, more room for special cards to come out, and really can do maybe an icon review a day, an icon review every other day. That's what we're going to be doing with. But if you have any suggestions, that's going to be the comment of the day. What sort of schedule for reviews would you like to see? I'll put the question in if you want to comment below, and if you want to subscribe as well. We're trying to hit 7k to start with, and then 10k is the overall goal for FIFA 21. So let's get into the stats and see how he is. So going into Gattuso's stats, his kind of everything about him, what is good about him, what is not. He's coming in at 470. 465 on a PlayStation, 575 on the PlayStation, which is absurd for a Gattuso. He is a base, and to be honest, I think he is better than the mid. Obviously, at the minute, we only have base and mids in packs or in anything. Primes come out later on in the year, and then Prime Moments will be announced and released, I believe, February, I want to say. So we have got a little bit to wait for them. So at the minute, we are dealing with just base mids, and we can see what we can do with them. He's got traits of team player, leadership, and solid player. Personally, not too sure what they actually do. I'd really need to kind of brush up on them traits. He is a 2-star skiller with a 3-star weak foot. He is 5'10", right-footed with a high defensive work rate and a medium attacking. He is a stocky build, and I didn't even realise Footbin had that. A stocky build, born in 1978. Just for some fun facts. He obviously is the lower rated of the icons, and to be honest, you won't see many people with a Gattuso. I don't see a huge amount of people with icons yet, unless you're in pro level. Then icon wise, you're waiting for icon swaps. You're not really buying a 470,000 player that necessarily could go down during icon SBCs, during icon swaps. It's just not what you do. He has only got 73 pace on the base of this, 88 physicality, which is amazing, and 90 defending, which is also amazing. Dribbling wise, he's got good reactions. Composure's only 79. Not a big fan of that. I feel like it will do for right now, but come a couple of weeks, I just don't feel like that's going to be enough. 70 agility, 81 balance isn't the worst. I've seen better. We just got a subscriber. Hey, thank you very much. Who's that? PSG Esports Gaming. Thank you for the subscription as well. Get a shout out in the video. That's the way to do it. But he's got good passing as 87 short, 84 long, and if you whack a catalyst on him, he goes from an 89 CDM all the way up to a 91. That is absolutely perfect. He has 83 pace then, and he gets 83 passing, leading his short and long up to 92 and 94. That for me is a cracking CDM right there. And yes, he's not the tallest of players, so he's kind of like more of a niggler at the ankles, if anything. He's got a great standing tackle, and to be honest, he intercepts pretty well. Dribbling wise, not the greatest. I would kind of suggest to pass with him. It's what we'll see in the gameplay, which we will go into right now. So going into the gameplay of him, what I did find is cracking player on the ball. He is phenomenal. Great pass on him, does a lot of work. Yes, in terms of dribbling, isn't amazing. He really is a bit of a, and like it is, he's a stocky build. He's very clunky on the ball. I wouldn't really be wanting to try and take on too many people, but when it comes to the defensive side of him, absolutely fine. He intercepts, he manages to get in the way, and he manages to win the ball back. And I think as a CDM, that's a cracking little trait to have of him. Other than that, I think the one thing that you're going to find with him is he's just there to link players. That's pretty much all he does because of that icon that status. He can link anyone, and that's always a good point to have, and it's always going to be a plus that you can have such a hybrid with the icons. And more than likely, by the end of the year, you have normally 3 or 4 icons at the minimum in your squad, and especially with icon SBCs that hopefully we can grind, that's going to be an absolutely perfect one to have in the team ready. In terms of would you pay for him right now, for me, I wouldn't risk it. Just in case he is icon swaps one, he's got more than a chance to be, and I feel like that one will be in more than his mid. I feel like his base is better. So if that is the case, I'd hope for them to put his mid in, or put his base in rather than his mid. But going into the overall review for him then, we have got him right here. As you can see, he is the skill moves. You see all the traits down here. We've got a few decent traits going on there. And then if we do look at him in comparison to his others, we've got 74 pace on this one, so a +1, minus on the defending, a little bit on the physicality. Takes a little bit of a hit on the passing as well, so I can see why the base is coming in at a lot more price, an extra 70k for a -2 of the rating. I just think that his base would be better. In terms of his prime, it's a little bit better. I was going to say it's not incredible, but definitely has a little bit more about him. He has got the exact same pace, one more defending and physical, takes a dribbling off, takes, again, passing off. So, to be honest, I could probably see his prime going in a lot less than his base, and I think we've probably hit the nail on the head. And this is what I've always tried to make sure that people know is, just because it's base, mid, prime doesn't mean that that's the level of how good they are. It doesn't mean the base is always the worst, the mid is kind of middle, and the prime's always the best. Normally the prime moment is normally the best one in a lot of cases, but again, it doesn't mean that it can be the best. It can still have stats that are not necessarily meta for this game, and that's what we've seen in all the other icons reviews that we've done in FIFA 19, FIFA 20, and now in FIFA 21. They always changed based upon obviously the meta of the game, how you need to play it, and basically what's good, what's not. Is acceleration good this year? Yes. Was it good last year? I can't remember. Was it good FIFA 19? It could be no, yes, yes. And literally then you've got to kind of figure out the icons of what's better in this game. So that's why I want to try and go with the lower ones, because they're going to be more the affordable ones, and they do link and hybrid teams up. That's always a nice plus to have in your team. And the minus is icon swaps and SBCs could half the price entirely. If he does miss the icons completely and he stays impacts and not on SBCs or in swaps, he may even go up in value. That's always the risk that you've got to take, and because there's going to be so many SBCs, so many swap players, there is a high chance that this card gets into it. But overall, I've given him a 7.5 as an icon. He's not a bad icon, but I just don't feel like he's worth putting that sort of money in. Go and buy somebody else at this moment in time, wait for icon swaps, and then see. Then look at your options. If you could get a Roberto Carlos, a Rio, you could go get an Essien, a Ballack. You don't know who's going to be in there yet, and you don't know who's going to be in SBCs. I can imagine swaps will be for the lower priced players, and the SBCs will be for the higher rated players. But we all don't know what's going to happen with that. It's the first time they've brought both of them in at the same time, and hopefully we do find out very, very soon. But I personally would hold fire on any icons unless there's someone like R9 who's just not going to be affected by this. But then why would you be watching a review on Gattuso if you're looking at an R9? He's a lot more in price, and Gattuso is chump change for him. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, and if you want to subscribe as well, that always means a lot, like the guy PSG that just at the start. And I'll see you all next one. Peace.